Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Permex Petroleum's channel. We're sitting here with Mehran. Today, we wanted to kind of go through your recent AGM, kind of go into your Q1 vision and results, talk about Q2, and talk about some stock performance. So first off, Mehran, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Good to see you.
It's great to see you too, Mehran. So let's jump into your AGM. Tell me what was discussed, what happened. Just go from there.
Absolutely. You know what? We did hold our AGM and we did publish our results, but we could dive in a little bit more. So the main topics of an AGM is choosing the number of directors, the actual director nominations themselves getting approved or not, your auditors, which to me is one of the most important things, and lastly, your stock option plan. So we chose to have 6 directors, just like previous years. That was approved. 99% yes, 1% no. The director nominations themselves ranged anywhere from 82% yes to 100% yes. So a majority in favor of all of the directors that we nominated. Auditors, again, I'll mention that. To me, I look at a lot of companies that switch auditors. Why? Why do they switch auditors? I don't like it usually. So we have been with Davidson and Company for since 2017. They've audited our books since we were private as a company, which is great because they've seen our evolution. They've seen everything we've done, and every year they continue to do it. Davidson and Company is one of the largest auditing firms in Canada. It's not KPMG or PricewaterhouseCoopers, but we are not that big as we stand right now to want or justify paying those fees. So auditors were 100% approved by the shareholders.
Good.
Lastly was our stock option plan. It's a 10% rolling, just like majority of the stock option plan boilerplate. That was approved as well, 82% for favor and 17% against.
Okay.
That was essentially our AGM results. Glad that most shareholders agreed with what we've done and what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't want to sit on auditing too long because it's not the most attractive topic to people.
It's important.
Exactly. Important. Yeah, it's an important topic, and staying with the same people. You could say sometimes people swap because they don't like how people give results or something. So it seems a little more honest to stick with the same person for a long period of time, same group of people. But yeah. So let's jump into the Q1 vision then. So like 2020 was a crazy year, as you know. We get into 2021, and now we're already a quarter of the way through it, which is crazy on its own. But tell me about what you guys had envisioned for Q1 and what actually wound up happening.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think any company out there can comfortably say coming out of 2020 they envisioned any. It was so dramatic. It was so out of left field that for most companies out there, it was quite of the awakening. For us, 2020 was a restart. Let's just say that. It was a timing for us to step back and review our business model, decide if this is the path we want to continue or not. We decided, yes, it is. We are an operator in the Permian Basin. We're not changing geographies. We're in the hottest region. We have the greatest assets as far as we have been involved in. We believe we'll continue that. However, we wanted to do expansion into a different segment within our business as well, being the royalty interest. Up to that point, we were strictly operators. We would buy ownership, we would drill, we would develop, we would hold liability to the fields. We wanted to pursue it, so we did. And as you know, we have acquired a significant number of royalty interests in large properties associated with other operators. So that was our vision to do, and we did. Another thing we wanted to set in motion in 2021, which in Q1 we did, was more transparency and more communication with shareholders. It's worth to note, we IPO'd in Canada. So a lot of our focus with bankers, investment underwriters has been on the Canadian side. We are now, as of 2021, going to start focusing more on the US side as well. This is where our assets are. This is where the company's focused. This is where we're going. So that's one thing we've started here. Launching this new IR website, for instance, for our shareholders. It's tiered towards Canada, yes, but majority it'll be actually on the US side, given the expansion we're expecting on the US. Lastly, I would say is our operations as well. For Q1, we wanted to start bringing online some of the wells that were shut in due to the low price environment. We have started to do that. We will put out some information coming out shortly regarding some of the processes we've done, some of the fields we've done, and what other fields we're anticipating to bring back online. So that would be Q1 of 2021.
Well, Mehran, I'd say we're off to a pretty strong start here. Things are going well. Can you look forward a little bit? Can you tell us about what the expectations are so far for Q2?
Without going too much in detail, we are going to continue acquisitions of royalty interests. That's something that's well with us still. There are opportunities out there that we see that we're running through from doing due diligence on geology, engineering, upside, man, title. We will continue doing that and build on the partnerships we have with groups such as Apache, COG, and various other companies out there that we've started to purchase royalty interests from. That's one thing. We will continue bringing online our own shut-in fields. And if the opportunity presents itself, start looking at the horizontal drilling programs that we have access to, that we have fields that we can drill, and begin doing that in Q2 or that second half this year. Those would be things that I'm going to focus on this time. Beyond that, from a corporate standpoint, I'm not going to discuss anything uplisting or anything associated with that at this juncture.
Wonderful. Yeah, guys, we'll get more news to you as it comes. Obviously, can't look forward too hard here, but it sounds like a solid game plan as always. Last but not least, let's talk about the performance that the stock's been having lately. You could say people had increased confidence with the way you guys have shown adaptability in your business model. Do you want to dive into that anymore?
Sure. Let me take a look at it again from the Canadian side first. Again, as I said, that's been a lot of our focus. We are going to start shifting more on the U.S. side. So let's look at the Canadian stock performance. I like to always compare it with the Canadian oil and gas sector itself. So if we pull up the performance of Permex stock and compare that to the Canadian oil and gas stocks in general, 7-day, let's say, 7-day return for Permex was 38%. 7-day return for Canadians companies has been around negative 1.8%. Okay, that's a 7-day performance, not bad. Looking at a 1-year return, which is more something I like to do, not short-term, long-term, we're at 190% return. Versus the Canadian oil and gas market being around 38%. So the numbers are adding to our development plans. The numbers are actually matching what we're doing as far as going out and acquiring and developing and our targets. And that's great. We're going to continue the same way, move forward, and hopefully the market can realize, can see what we're doing, setting milestones and achieving.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, you mentioned a good point there. Comparing it to the industry is always a good point because, you know, a lot of these companies will naturally move with the prices too. You know what I mean? Supply and demand's being met and you guys would be there. So it's good to kind of compare where you guys are versus the industry growth. Happy to see that you guys are doing well. Any last words, Mehran, before we go?
No, I think, listen, within the oil and gas sector, not just our company, all the great companies out there, there's a lot of them, oil and gas, there is a disconnect between the performance of the shares of these companies and where the actual market should be. So watch 2021 as a time where that disconnect shrinks and the valuations of these companies is realized through what assets they have, development they have, reserves they have, and performance. So that's something we're looking forward to because it applies to Permex as well.
Sounds great. Well, thanks, Mehran. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you have any questions, shoot them over to us. Mehran, thank you for your wisdom and your insight. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.